Welcome back to another live session, traders. We are looking at a couple of instruments currently trending, and gold has potentially has come down for come back for a stronger rejection from this lower price here. And if we look at the current market structure on gold, we can see that there is a potential for the price has just tested this daily high, and there is a daily support that you can see on gold has earlier tested this lower shadow, while we could see the market to potentially move. And also at the same time, I was looking at dollar yen, the trade is running in, and we will keep it on here on the list. So we look at the dollar yen and also with the gold. Now, if we look at this time frame here on the lower time frame, that from the bigger picture perspective on gold, that you can see from the daily and the lower time frame here. So how we can look at the current market structure here on the lower time frame, that is where the market is on a trend at the moment. And looking at this market structure from this support level, we have seen there is a stronger breakout, and with this breakout expecting the market potentially to rise here back above in that area. So if we look at the current market structure, we can see from this daily support level there was a stronger breakout here in that market. So I hope that you guys have seen the previous session. There was a drop, and then suddenly the market has broken above from this level. So currently looking at this market structure in that area, that for the market to show up potential entry, so looking at the lower time frame, if you look at the intraday perspective from 4-hour chart on gold, from this support level there is a stronger breakout, and that breakout has given this market a strong momentum back above here in that area. So looking at the lower time frame, that you can see the market has broken back below and then rejected back above again from this level. So if we look at this lower time frame here, there is a potential change of trend. And if this market changing the trend, if we look at the weekly market structure, from this weekly support there is a rejection, and that might take that market well above this level. Welcome. I hope that the stream is on and you guys can hear me. Can you write something in the live chat if you can hear? The stream is on. Thank you for joining. And absolutely, we are looking at some a bigger setup here. And make sure you like this stream. And also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. Now here is the weekly market structure that you can see from this weekly support. Now, previous session, if you guys looked at, the market has broken this weekly low and then reject back above here. Along with gold, also dollar yen has got the rejection. We will be coming back here on dollar yen. You might find another entry on dollar yen as this market started to currently on a trend that we have seen as the previous sessions move. Now, looking at this market structure, if you look at this overall move in the market, and this is the weekly support, and in this weekly support there is a retest of this previous weekly low. And especially the market, if you look at this move on the weekly, what we can see that there is a previous weekly bullish green candle. Now, today's market just has broken that weekly low. It has broken that previous weekly support, and with that break of this previous weekly support, there is a sharp breakout, and that breakout is what we see the market is now creating a new structure here, and that is where we are looking at in this market. This is the bullish move that you can see. There is a bullish candlestick pattern with a long wick at the top here in this market, and with this breakout on gold from this support, we are looking at the market to possibly break that high and creating a new higher high. So the bias here so far, as with our previous market structure, is bullish. And I'm looking at this price action on the lower time frame here. This is what you can see is a high liquidity zone, which is a very important support here on gold. And from that support, expecting the market to continue to trend back again to the upside. So we see that there is a return of this trend. We discussed in our previous session as well why we think that gold might be potentially bouncing back to the upside. Do you think so? So let me start with a poll. Now, more often we saw that the pulls in over 95% of the time, the poll that we have posted has come out to be very, very accurate. So I'm going to ask again with a poll. So what's your view on gold today? So you can cast a vote. So I've sent a poll. If you are excited to know that what everyone is thinking, so make sure that you cast a vote in the poll, where we'll be able to see that what majority of the thinking. So you see 50-50. I'm looking at more. Now this is where we can see the support, and that's a rejection from this support level here, if you look at, which is a very important support that you can see here in that market. And as the market tested that low, now where the market today's price has rejected, we can relate it to very important area of value. One is the weekly low, which is 4,000 level, which is a very important support. The other is, if you look at the monthly, which is the monthly area of value that you can see on this lower time frame. And as if we look at the 4-hour chart with this bullish engulfer on the intraday time frame, here is the intraday price action that you can see has formed on gold. And with this intraday support, as the 4-hour candle close, if you look at the candle here opened and then started to bounce back again in the direction of the major trend. So because the bias is bullish and the market has tested the lower part very narrow, so that means the bulls are stronger, because the price action that you only can see from the bigger picture how the price action is doing from the wick of the candle, because when the wick is smaller, that means less effort from the seller here. And that is what I'm looking at now. The current, this is a very narrow doji that you can see, which is a high liquidity zone. Looking at the market potentially to retest that level, possibly to break that low below here to give us an entry opportunity for this potential move back up. So we are long on gold and we are ready for an entry as soon as it appears. Are you ready for an entry here? Let's look at that. Where is the market is showing up? Now the dollar yen trade is still running in with me, and it made quite a few moves that you guys can see that on dollar yen, and I'm running it on looking at further entry opportunity in the upcoming in this gold move. Welcome. And here is what you can see. Dollar yen, in fact, has created a significant bullish price action that you have seen, which is, I'm still on this trade and it's moving as expected. And you can see there is a significant break above here in that market, which is, this is the, if you look at, this is 1 hour bullish price action on dollar yen. With this retest of this neckline, the market is showing that dollar yen potentially could remain upside here. And we are running a trade, and we might be able to add position along the way once we see further confirmation here from the 1 hour. And the daily, we can see the dollar yen is currently bullish. So there is an inverted head and shoulder, retested again, form another inverted head and shoulder, and it's now trying to push back again to the major direction. While on gold here, also maintaining bullish uptrending market structure. As the market is approaching this daily high, this is the daily high here, today's high, and waiting for potentially a retest of this lower shadow of this daily move, so that we can take a position here for another bounce back to the upside. Now, if we see that there is a break below, especially break down below, from this trend line, we can look for bullish entry on gold. Now, this is the current trend line that the market is respecting, and we are looking at this move back above in that area. So you see some vote here. Bullish 79%, still I think everyone is still not cast that vote yet. So if you cast that, it's gonna be helpful to know that what's your view on gold today. Okay, so that's the support that I'm looking at. When the market remains very strongly bullish, the best way is to wait for the breakup structure for an entry. At any point, we will be looking at entry with the breakup structure, and there's the market making its way potentially back up here, and that is what I'm looking at the market to break that low potentially and then to return again back above. Okay, so the current trend line that you can spot it is here. We are looking at the 1 minute and little higher time frame for multiple time frame analysis here. So whenever the market is coming below that support, that means to this trend line, we see there is a stronger break above. So at this point, what you can expect that the market to break to that trend line and then coming to any of this key support level and then to return again back above. Understanding the trend is the most important part as a trader, because once you know the bigger flow, you are always in the direction, right? So what's the advantage of knowing the trend is that you are not trading against the trend, which is more often happens, because to know the major trend also you need to see the lower time frame and the higher time frame trend. Now look at the daily. What do you see? Is it a downtrend or an uptrend on the daily? Many traders might say it's a downtrend because we see a bearish move. And that's why it's so important to know that order block. And when you know the order block, you know that when the smart money is buying the market. Here is potential break below that expecting coming back to the order block, because that's the where a trend begins, especially from the order block where the majority of the orders starts to move the market, start to make the market to move in the major flow, in the major direction of the trend. Good afternoon. So in this area, slowly from this double top, getting some bearish move. So you might find an entry at any point in time. So I'm ready with possible entry for this bounce back to the upside. If you are around, if you are running or opening any trade with me, make sure guys also use proper lot size calculator for any so that your risk is remaining consistent for each trade, which is very important. So if you are opening one trade with, let's say, $100 risk, the other trade should be $100 risk, the other trade should be $100 risk, like that. So when you keep the consistent risk, then your return become consistent also. That's very important to keep that in mind. 15 minutes, the market is getting, this is the 1 minute price action. Here's the bullish move that you can see from here. So there might be a possible break of structure here. And that is what I'm waiting to see, that the market to break from this trend line so that you can enter in the direction of the trend. This is current support level. And in that current support level, waiting on potential move. So this is the 4-hour level here that you can see. We have drawn that intraday. This is the 4-hour low. And you see the market has just crossed the previous session's high and getting some a pullback here. So that move could bring that market back below here, right? So that's what we are looking at. Now if you look at the previous session, the one that we have opened in the same way. The goal here is to always keep the move in the major flow. If you look at here, also I have shared the same trade in the premium group. We saw that there was a strong breakout suddenly from that level, had started to move. So before that breakout, the market, here we open the previous session's trade exactly at this level, keeping the stop loss here. The market has a straight drop back down to that level. Now, how do you identify those levels? Okay, this is a key level of area of value, and the previous swing high was tested, and there is a liquidity sweep in that area. And if you look at the market, straight drop back down from that level and maintaining this downtrend here, and later from this monthly support it got reacted back above. Now we want to see the similar kind of first break below from that trend and then to return again back above here in that market, and that's where we can find a high probability trading opportunity. This is the 15 minutes price action. We might see that drop down here, and there is also 10 EMA 15 minutes. If you look at the 30 minutes, also it is a support level here. And coming to this order block, this is a drop here, and I'm looking at if you look at that drop, is important to see that it's coming well below, because that drop is where we might be able to see the market is coming to retest this session's low to give us a possible entry back here. And you might be open buy here. So I'm going to go long from this level with only few pips stop loss and keeping a bigger profit target here to this level at the moment. So I'm opening buy. So stop loss at 4040.57. Keeping the stop loss below this support, very tight stop loss. So I've opened buy here, and this is currently coming to this intraday support. It's a very tight entry, and expecting that the market to potentially have a rejection. And now if we look at, this is a very tight entry, and if the market not rejecting back, we will be re-entering again as soon as we find further opportunity here. The market already this is a currently strongly bull market, and we'll keep a small risk and bigger profit target. That's where we are looking at. So if you are going out, you will be going out. That's completely fine. This is the 4-hour market structure. The key here is the risk is small, and then let the market to give you a big move like we did in the past. And try to break that low. We are at this crucial level here, and just overextended in that way. And so the price has dropped well below in this level here. So, and looking at the market tested also the 10 EMA from the 15 minutes perspective, which is a key level of support. Okay, so getting some rejections, we might see potentially a bearish move here. If we see that bearish move, we might see dropping well below. Now, depending on now how the market structure is being created, you're out with the trade. It's completely fine. You will be looking for further entry. There is a stronger rejection from the higher price, and we look at the 4-hour, getting in the last moment potentially, depending on how the market is creating the structure, we'll be looking at further entry. Getting reaction back that you can see on the lower time frame, and so I'm going to look at here if this market is still hit those lines to see that where the market is heading. This is 4-hour price action, and if the market not being able to break that low, this is gonna be potentially bullish move back above. Do you think it's gonna be a reversal? And I think the market is I think gold might, if you look at here, this market may not be very strongly bearish. We could see anytime the market to reject back again. There is still possibility for bounce from that level, which is lower time frame price action. How it is creating the market structure, we'll know that. And you see how the red candle has created, and there might be deeper pullback here, and the previous liquidity zone is here. And this drop down that you can see, that might be bringing a possibility for bullish entry. And I don't think it's gonna be strongly bearish. If you look at the 4-hour, this is already green candle, and the market is breaking that low, and it might come further down here for getting all those liquidity, and then to potentially to, if this market get enough liquidity, because you see there is a drop here followed by a pullback, and the market has created this pattern which eventually could lead that market back to the upside in that area. Therefore, the possibility here is to remain bullish, and any break below, because there is a fair value gap in that area, so that can bring potential possibility to move up. Not going to sell yet, as okay. We'll see that potentially here now pushing down, and we might see certain level to reach before it managed to break out. And we can use a pending order if we see the market has dropped well below for a possible reversal. At the moment, it's in this direction here on the lower time frame. It even could drop well below before it potentially reverse from the daily high. The market has returned, and we might see a daily close with a green doji before it finally bounce back up. But coming down is a possibility to giving us for potentially entry, and it could drop any of this level, as this is an order block, and 1 hour candle close just crossing the previous hourly low here. Now the market testing this support and remaining. both direction possible. The market still can come back down to fill that zone, or it can bounce back to the upside. So we'll be again with a smaller risk, going for long, keeping stop loss below this low, keeping a bigger profit target. So stop loss at 4035.84. And TP target placing at 4054. We can adjust later. For the time being, we are more concerned about the stop loss rather than the profit target, and we can adjust the profit target accordingly whenever needed for us to get the proper move. They're expecting the market to go ahead and hit that level. And if the market reverse here, if you look at that, expecting it to bounce back up to the key level here. So we're at this level and the trade is on. I'm running it and it's a very tight stop loss. You guys see that I again put a very tight stop loss, because if this market breaks this low, at no point that I'm going to run this trade anymore. So therefore, if the market remain to the upside here, only in that case I will be running this trade. Otherwise I will exit the trade with the minimum stop loss and we will be looking for re-entry. So trading is, so we are looking to see that the market is maintaining that uptrend, and So looking at, if you look at the 1 minute chart, there's a breakout structure, and then it's potentially trying to build that support. So I'm looking for a move here, guys. So this is where 15 minutes and the 5 minutes candlestick pattern also closing, potentially with a big rejection from the support, and so if the market goes back up to this high, we will get to 88 to 90 pip move, and then we can take the partial profit and moving the stop loss at entry to make it completely risk free here. And that's what, there is a doji that has formed, and there might be some weak fill here. So there is a breakup structure that you can see on the lower time frame, and if this is because there is a stronger uptrending move, and once the market set this trend back to the upside here, once the market prepare for a trend continuation, that means a new uptrend here, you can set it back to the previous swing high. All right, so we can potentially look at well above, but it's need to be able to potentially move back to the upside with a new uptrend. What signals when the market does this is basically gaining momentum, basically potentially forming trend continuation pattern. Keeping this support looking at bullish potential bullish reaction here for this weak fill back to the upside. With this weak fill, if the market managed to bounce back here, looking at new higher high, and so the support being tested again, and it's gonna be very interesting here. It's getting back again, and sometimes the market creates this kind of structure for gathering more liquidity here. So there might be quite a bit of up and down, and from this support it's gone back up our entry. You guys see how the market is creating the structure, and that is maintaining that momentum here, looking at to reach 4050. If the market reach 4050, we will be taking the partial profit and we'll move the stop loss at entry, which is running a little profit at the moment. My entry was a little late, but I'm looking at complete bounce back here to see that the market trend is up. And so if it is not breaking below, that's where you could see another candlestick pattern formation to the upside. And let's see if it is another fake out. Okay, the 15 minutes, the current candlestick pattern, we can see tested the lower shadow and potentially trying to break that up here. So if it is going back up to fill that long wick, and I'm looking at this market structure to continue to rise back to the upside here, and there is no news, so therefore the market trend may remain potentially stable here. From the 1 hour market structure here, that's so you see there are lower time frame trend. So we see there is a, from this high, getting 30 minutes price action might try to test the lower shadow. It's getting quite a few false breakout. might be seeing bigger drop. And the last moment is got a rejection, so here is still on the trade. I have 2 trades position. There might be coming well below this level here, so getting potentially might get out shortly. Okay, so you're out, and we'll see that if the market coming to retest this daily low, and that might bring that market back below to this support level. So there might be, you are out with the trade, there might be significant break below. We'll see that where it is heading, and looking for that re-entry as soon as the market, it might come back here for this order block. There is significant downside that we see here, and from this high here to this support can continue to come back to this order block. You might see at any point the market will start to continue to the direction of this changing new trend. So looking at $3,990 to $3,980 can touch today. Daily low, if we look at, there's a weekly low has been tested previously. Let's see that if the market is maintaining, there is a head and shoulder though here, and that might bring that new downtrend continuation. But at the moment, so far, there is a very strong rejection from this monthly support. It might drop again for another retest of this daily low, and then could bounce back to the upside, the way we see the market structure being formed, depending on the new the volume in the market. So if you look at, that's where the lower time frame price action is being created. Now at any point you see there might be a rejection again, depending on, here is the previous resistance that you can see, resistance here, which is turning support, and that resistance turns support, giving a possibility for this market to come back below, right? And again, it's at any point after the retest of this order block, you still can look at for bouncing back to the upside. And it still can come back here and then retest, or it can come back to this order block and then return. But I will not be very confident to open a big sell position at from any of this support. You could see that the market to bounce again back to the direction of the trend. Do you think gold is going to come back to daily low? What's your thought on this? Do you think so? Let me know in the live chat. What's your thought on that? There is a fair value gap here, so this might come to fill that imbalance, or we could see trend continuation. So we will be taking again reversal trade if the market really managed to continue to trend. It is coming down back below. We'll see that where the price is heading. This is a lower time frame bearish price action here. Lower time frame, that means that 1 minute and 5 minutes, that if you look at it's creating very interesting consolidation in that area. So the market structure here is creating a really interesting price action in that area. And is it reversing or it's getting that again in the direction of the trend? Okay, so here lower time frame, after break of this support, there is a I think it might slowly start to reverse from here. And here we might see a potential reversal. Look at the lower time frame. That might be a fake drop here in that market. And this is where I'm going to open buy. We look at, there is a potential for a fake out, so I'm going to place a very tight stop loss here with this move back above to this resistance line, keeping the stop loss here, just here. In case not working out, we will be going out with the trade again with the lowest. So the stop loss placing at 4034.32. It's all about risk management, guys. As I mentioned earlier, make sure you maintain that risk management. Anytime you might see the market going not in your favor, we can extend the profit target if we need it. So I place the entry and stop loss in a very crucial level. If the trade not going in my favor, I will be exiting the minimum um, stop loss. And if it is going in my favor, if the market, as I mentioned, at any point it can get a reversal, and if that is what, if you look at here, it's liquidity grab, and as the market overextended back below here, getting back up, if you look at the 1 hour, that's a big long wick candle. It's a very long rejection, and creating the imbalance back below. Market is behaving very differently today. That's really different movement. And so with a break of resistance, carrying that rejection back, and it may just create this structure. You guys see that this is a support from the 30 minutes, and it eventually could try to break that low. So when there is a okay, so breakout retest. So creating a very step up and a step down structure, and that might bring that market to this low or going back up to create a new higher high. It might just create this structure. If you look at this, is a very funny structure has created, gone back up and then come back down. Green, red, green, red. It's completely moving in a side way. Here also there is a side way, broken above, come back down again sideway, and in that area, if you look at, the market will break in one direction for sure, and that one direction break could be to the imbalance direction of this imbalance here. Once you are Okay, so the pressure putting back potentially downside, so the pressure coming for breaking below here. So as this is a support, and in that area uh, there's a bullish fair value gap. With this potential break below, the market to really. There's a low volume, guys, in the market. So um that's why the market is moving in a very narrow one candle range, and that's a sign of potentially a breakout or breakdown. Because when you see that such a low volume is basically preparation for any kind of bigger move in one direction. So if you look at here, you can see the market in this area putting pressure on the support, possibly to feel that imbalance in that direction here, and bringing that down back below. That is what we can see. In that case, the market potentially to come back well below to the order block. It might be uh, putting pressure on the support. So if you look at the 15 minutes price section here, that you can see market is putting pressure on this key support area, and that pressure might bring that price potentially to this here to the 4-hour level, to the support. If you look at the 1-hour candle closing, now this 1-hour candle close that we can see has quite a few manipulation at the top. Do you think it's gonna coming back here? Very weird here. And tested the lower shadow of this support. Now there is a, after dropping down, if you look at, this is a false breakout. That's what the market now is, this false breakout, trying to break that high here again. There's a potential for continuation back in this market. There's a sharp breakout from the support. From the daily, we see the price again bouncing off that daily level, and it might just keep continue to rise back depending on how much volume coming. All right, so it's if you look at this insane move that being started, and as there is a sharp breakout, that might potentially to continue to trend back here. And from the 4 hour, if we look at, it just has crossed this intraday 4 hour level, and there's a possibility for creating a new higher high to come back to retest that low. But I think the trend potentially to continue to rise back here. There's a sharp breakout. We may see that the market to bounce back here to this nearest liquidity zone, which is at 4064 level. There's a sharp breakout. So with the NOI session, we might see that this market, if it is having, if you look at the long-term reversal, there is a quite a few stronger false breakdown here that we have seen in this move. So here is false breakdown, there's a liquidity sweep here, it formed now, this is 15 minutes, a big potentially bull candle. Now maintaining a bullish move here that could make this trend continue to rise back above to this long-term resistance line. Going to be very interesting here if we see that the market has changed the trend and okay, so here there is a this is a potentially a false breakdown, and we may see that now here looking to see that potential trend continuation in this market for new higher high. That's gonna be really interesting to see that the market is starting to reverse back again to the major direction of the trend. So looking at the 4-hour, if you look at the 4-hour here, that is where this 4-hour price action that we have seen was, if you look at a rejection from here, right? So in that case, if this market is bouncing off this level, then this is a sign of change of trend from this weekly low to a bigger picture back to the upside, to the weekly high. And so this is where the trend is. If you look at a break of structure followed by if you look at here, you can see whenever breaking below, getting a rejection. So GBPUSD go up. That's if you see British pound US dollar going up means that weakness on DXY. So looking at DXY, there was a bearish move earlier, and then it has from this support got that rejection, so which is also reflecting on dollar yen. Dollar yen, we were running trade, which is there was a pullback, and the market now again trying to push back to the upside here on dollar yen. On gold, that is interesting now. There's a candle close on the 5 minutes, and it's maintaining that uptrend on gold, and we could see that potentially bullish trend continuation here to back to the upside. And here there is a inverted head and shoulder that you can see on the 1 minute. All right, so that could be a possible trend continuation here. So this inverted head and shoulder, you want to trade it here with a bigger profit target. This is an inverted head and shoulder on the 1 minute, and I'm going to trade this inverted head and shoulder, keeping just a stop loss few pips below this neckline of this inverted head and shoulder. It's gonna be third entry, and definitely it's very important that we always keep everything is in control for any kind of room for that. You can see that there's a liquidity grab again, and there's a 1 minute break below of this neckline. So that more often for, okay, so there might be, if you look at this level, so if you look at this kind of one single drop is basically sign of liquidity grab, and want to keep it well below to this level, the stop loss. And again, a very smaller risk. We're targeting more than 3 times profit target here. And so the stop loss placing at 4035.61. TP target setting at 4061.92. So here I'm looking at potentially rejection back above here. We are taking a trade in for 200 pip potential bounce. You're looking at potentially a reversal trade here. And so before it breaks out, the market really does a lot of up and down to gain momentum. And that's what I'm looking at, a trend continuation here. We'll be holding on once the market take that move in our direction. That's the key, to hold on to the bigger wins. There is a couple of times there's a false breakdown here, so that might give a little bit of momentum. I wouldn't say a little bit, it's gonna be quite a bit. And that move, if it successfully move back here, that's if we take that full move to this level, full 3 times, if we can take that whole move, that's gonna be 3.5 times. That's gonna be more than break even for today. And that's what I'm looking at. Because once it's gonna set up for this move back above, that's gonna be really, really big move back to the upside here in that market. Right, so let's hold on to that. Catching one trade and then holding it for the big move, that's the secret, guys. Are you with me? Right, and I'm holding on to that now. I'm gonna hold it for as much as we can. So you're 60 pip up, keep the risk low. That's the number one. And once you keep the risk low, the market will go at all time at any direction with a bigger impulse. Okay, so the market trends only 30% of the time, guys. Keep in mind, 70% of the time the market ranges. And if you want to predict a breakout, then you have to be okay with not being able to predict that breakout, because if it isn't breakout, because more often there is a false breakout than the valid breakout. So when there's a false breakout, you're wrong. Get out of the trade with the minimum and then look for the next entry for a bigger profit target. Predict that breakout, and when it is, let it go at its best. Right? So that's how you can keep winning big, keeping smaller risk, and then keep your trading account growing exponentially. Like we did in the academy, you guys have seen that. Some of the trade and profit that I have shared in the premium group was from us. And all right, that one, we want to take that move again with this breakout. I'm on it. Because once the market goes in your direction, it's keep going. It might just keep going to its maximum distance for new higher high. That is basically being a trader, is to let the winner run. Right? Let the winner run. This is a very old school advice, but that's the best way you can keep winning. And just make sure the things are smooth, right? Some of the trade that you guys have seen, that all the strategy that I trade is automated. This is a very, very great way to keeping your emotion at check, because if you are not experienced, probably if you are trading from the very beginning, if you're not experienced, then the emotion takes over, right? So you open a trade, you want to keep it running, but in the middle you feel like that closing it, you might lose it. But if you can automate your system, if you can automate your trade, then you don't have to worry about that emotional pain coming with trading, right? So this is what here in the academy we did done, that every strategy that I trade now in automated system. So you guys see the some of the trade that I have opened directly in this live session, suddenly it opened, right? So that's an automated strategy, and that's profitable for me now because my strategy is profitable, it's proven. Now let me bring out that I have shared some of the trade it's gonna be, guys, I'm bringing it, so get ready to watch it. So if you can do a risk managed trading, now look at this, what you can do using the risk managed strategy. This is using the fully automated system, and you can see that I do have more losing than winning trade, a lot of losing trades. All right, so see that. All right, and boom. Now is this from my personal trade phone? Let me bring that up here on the camera so it's, you guys see that it's my here. All right, you wanna see that monthly, right? So I hope that you guys can see. Let me see the screen. Do you see that? See, so more losing than winning, but what's the, can you see the balance and everything? I think you can see now, right? You see, it's just a matter of a month. Look at the top. Now the secret is only one. The secret is only one, and that is doing risk management, right? Do the risk management, keep the risk low, and then trade it consistently. So we see that here the trend is little on a pullback, and it reached a new high. It might come down for a deeper pullback, but I'm not closing it anyway, as taking a bigger win, it takes a really little time for the market to show up that. So here, if it is going for another move, that we might see that this going back up to create a new higher high. All right, so here is if this is that trend begin, we might see the market to continue to rise back up. All right, so I hope that you guys enjoying the live session. Make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. And let me know what's your thought on gold today. I posted a poll here. You saw that 60% bullish. Let me show you the results. This is this stuff really works. If you guys looked at, I do share the poll results more often. Let me bring that up here. Right, so the pool results was so 68% bullish. The market has broken back above, right? It really works, the pool. So that's why I really prefer to put a pool, and so that you guys also participating and know that what majority of them are thinking, and the market in fact more often behave in that direction. So now I'm on this trend and holding on to that for this win, potentially to keep us the full profit target hit. And we're not gonna take a smaller win. We wanna take it to the bigger win, right? And in the meantime, did you like this stream? And probably you are following me for a long time, but forgot to click that subscribe button. Okay, let's see that here now. What kind of it's maintaining that bullish market structure in that area, and it's going back here. If you look at, right, so it's pushing that and wanting to see the market is going back here in that area. So if you look at the market is going back in that direction, right, and one holding it, one more flight back to the upside can give us that full profit target hit. Now, by the way, we're discussing about the automating a system, automating it. That means creating an artificial intelligence. So there is a lot of talking about AI. You know, you guys probably have heard, but what is AI? It's an artificial, in terms of trader, we can use that for trading for us, right? How can you create it's just your strategy, you program it to do it on behalf of you, right? Is it necessary? I think it's more than anything else, because if you look at now, it's time 2025, 2026, right? If you are successful as a trader, the way you are trading, then I would say that stick to it. But if you're not successful, there was a saying, I think, who said that if something is not working, then why not trying different way, right? That's what it is. Because I have shown you that it works, right? In my own account. Now, how can you, we have a, like in the academy, every trade strategy that I use automated. Now also you are starting that we encourage our members to develop their own strategy. And if you want to automate your strategy, here I have all the tools for you to assist you. So work on that, develop your own AI system, own strategy, translate it into to become your own system that you can trade it yourself, right? Look at that bigger picture always, so that you can use your AI, your strategy to trade the market every day. Ready for that? Thank you. Say yes if you are ready for that. And by the way, currently we have in the premium, we have thousands members trading with us, and I'm still open. I'm still taking few members on the premium group, and joining here means that you are becoming part of this system that I have, as I keep open everything for our members. So if you want to take that chance to take it to the next level, right now it's 95% off. Okay, joining. I could give it completely for free because I don't trade from, like, I don't need subscription. I am a profitable trader. So, but the only thing is that, everyone will join, and that's going to be very difficult to maintain who is a really, really, truly passionate trader. So if you're a passionate trader, this is, you guys see that I'm trading on live every single day. All tools available. Take the chance of joining with 95% off. You can find link below this video on the website. It's nothing in comparison what you can get becoming a lifetime member, accessing every strategy that I have, every tool that I have, and also everything coming in the future as well. You'll be able to become part of that. Don't miss out. You can find link below this video. So here is, now we are at 110 pip up with this trade, and I'm holding on to that for giving me the full potential TP hit on this one. All right. Let me know what you are doing. Okay, here is the move. The market is slowly breaking that high. And from this support, it's okay. We want to see that one more flight back to the upside, right? Are you holding on to that with me? Are you holding on to the trade with me? Say yes in the live chat. Welcome. And it's moving back, and that's what you see, that we had few losing trade at the beginning. But if you are doing the risk management, that way you can take the big move and let it give you the full profit target. Don't close in the middle. And let's experience that one here. I'm holding on to it's nearly to hit that profit target. I'm not closing at any point in the middle. Want to see that it's going straight back to the upside, hitting that full TP. I have also another one running. I trade few trading accounts. So the other one is, I have even higher profit target. Want to take it to this one here, and nearly to, boom. That's what it is. Got that TP hit. The other account is still on, and I think I'm going to close the other one also. It's enough. Awesome. Thank you. It's still moving, guys, in that direction. It's gone. You have taken that profit hit. It's still moving in that direction. It's very interestingly. And awesome. That's, you can see it's still going in the direction. It's still pushing back to the upside. So which has it been taken in your account, the profit? its TP hit. So this one it's still moving back above, potentially to further upside. So here is that move, 205 pip, 200 pip on this one. So all right, now 200 pip taken. Dollar yen is still running. We'll keep it running. Now all right, guys, so we are almost nearing to the end of this session, and it was a great session with all of you. Finally, we are back on the winning streak, and as this is an important week, if you look at, yes, course, 200 pip taken. Well done. Yep, 200 pip taken. Very good. I have also taken 200 pip. And let's see then what's happening. Interestingly, my Forex vector is not coming. Okay. Now we are almost nearing to the end of this live session, and it just Tuesday, guys. We are on Wednesday now in my zone. There's another big trading day coming, and this week is pretty important because after the shutdown ending, there is a new volume coming in the market, and we want to see that more and more volume coming. And tomorrow I'm coming on live again twice to trade this live market. I'll see you there again very soon. I hope that you guys enjoyed this live session. I'll see you there again in the next one, and still keep trading. Always keep your risk low, bigger win, and then wait for the market to give you. All the patience is key. Develop patience as a trader, and I'll see you again in the next one. We'll discuss further.